Hey everybody, we are just getting our team call started for tonight and just, totally putting Raylan on the spot because we've just been chatting while everybody's kind of been hopping on. Now I'm asking her pointed questions and she's just going to pretend that nobody else is here and she's going to tell us a little bit about herself and why she started. So don't be nervous. Why did you choose to start? Why did you choose to start Plexus?
Because I was a very tired mom who couldn't keep up with my year-old baby, and I didn't like the road I was looking down, and I just tried everything and I couldn't, nothing was working, and I was like, well, what's it going to hurt? There's a 6-day money-back guarantee. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I did not send it back.
Oddly enough.
It'll be a year in November that I started.
But you started sharing?
Like December, January. I wanted to try the products first so I could have some personal stories or testimonies to share.
And now you probably are like, man, if I would have told all the people that were around me at that time, they could have been looking as good as me.
Yep. Yes. At first it was just like the inflammation, like my inflammation that went down, and I wasn't really losing anything on the scale, but I was losing inches. So it was frustrating but rewarding at the same time. And then kind of like Danica, like month 9, month 8, month 9, it just like boom, just kind of hit, and I lost like 25 pounds in July, maybe.
Yeah.
And there was other stuff going on, but
it was the same thing with me. Like I had lost a few pounds. I had lost like 17 pounds the first 6 months. And then month 9, it was just like, boom, I lost like 23 pounds. And it was just like, I melted.
Yeah, it just like, I don't know, I just kept stepping on the scale, and I hate stepping on the scale because I always get so discouraged. And I don't like living by a scale, but I just wanted to see where I was at because my clothes kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I was like, well, let's see. And
your clothes weren't getting bigger, you were getting smaller.
This is true. Yeah, so
what size did you start out at? Because you were telling us this before.
Oh, sorry, yes. I started out with a size 16, and that was getting a little bit tight. So that was kind of like my wake-up call. Like, are you kidding me right now, Raylan? Like, wake the heck up and do something about this. I was bigger than I was when I was 9 months pregnant, like heavier than I was when I was 9 months pregnant with my son. And now I am a size 8 to 10.
Yay!
So crazy. So crazy.
Amazing.
And like, how do you feel on the inside?
So much better. Like, you don't realize how good you feel or how bad you felt until you feel good, if that makes any sense. Because before I didn't really know anything about gut health, didn't really think about vitamins or anything like that. I figured as long as I was eating somewhat healthy and somewhat working out and have regular exercise that I was fine, but you don't realize how important a healthy gut is until your gut is getting healthy.
Totally.
Yeah.
So what do you see as the future now for like you and your kids? Like, what is this new mom going to be like? Because I'm guessing that that's changed.
I want to, like, I'm so excited to sign him up for all of these sports. Like, I have to, like, sit down and pick which ones he wants to go into, but I just want to sign him up for everything, and I want to do everything with him, and we go for walks after supper, and we go to the park, and I go down the slide with him, and I go on the monkey bars with him, whereas before, like, I wouldn't be able to hold myself up on those monkey bars or fit down a slide. So
yay!
That's so exciting. That is so exciting. Like that's life-changing. And that's not only life-changing for you, Like when we actually start thinking about this,
Yeah,
this is life-changing for your son, right? Like,
exactly. Like he's not a mom that does stuff with him now, not just sit on the couch and watch his movies.
well, and that's the other thing too, is that this is going to change who he is going to become as an adult,
Yeah, exactly.
right? Like you are putting activity and health into the next generation. Like we often don't look at this whole supplement gig as being such a huge, far-reaching thing for people in their health. The moment I realized that was when I had somebody tell me, my husband looked at me the other day and said, I feel like I finally have my wife back.
That's
Like their marriage was on the rocks, and it was because she was always angry, and she was angry at him, and I mean they weren't communicating well, but she dealt with the issues where she was dealing with depression, she was dealing with anxiety. He didn't understand what she was going through. She didn't have the words to tell him. And so once she balanced out, they could talk things through, and he saw the person that he fell in love with, and he's like, oh my gosh, these supplements. And so you know, I don't want to sound over dramatic, but not only can they change your health trajectory, they can change relationships. They can change like your kids. Like when you're looking at reaching out to people, when you think, and I heard this so many times, right? Like you said earlier, I wanted to have a story before I shared, right?
Yeah.
But if you realized how much bigger than yourself this is, right? Like we have to tell people, because what if somebody's depression is isolating them so much that they're talking about ending their own lives? And what if this could be a key part of the puzzle? Even if it's not the entire piece, right? It's a step in the right direction. Again, I'm a super major advocate for gut health and mental health, because I've been there. For those of you guys that don't know me, I was diagnosed bipolar and had an anxiety disorder, and dealing with my gut health is huge. Like I'm not on any medication any longer, and haven't been for a very long time. You know, what if this changes? Oh, I heard the worst statistic ever, and I'm going to quote the wrong numbers, but you guys are going to get it, right? In 1980, there were no children under the age of 12 in Canada who had documented cases of type 2 diabetes. In 2017, there were over 50,000 children in Canada with documented cases of type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is a dietary issue, right? Did I get close with those stats, Danica?
I think so.
Yeah. It's really, really sad, right? And so if we can change people, like we can change the world, right? Like you look at this like as your community and their communities and their communities and their communities, and all of a sudden we've hit the country, right? And when we have strong pockets of Plexus ambassadors, I would be super interested to do a survey in 10 years to see what the healthcare needs are in that area. What's the incidence of heart attack? What's the incidence of people becoming insulin dependent type 2 diabetics? What is, like, I am going to say that your emergency care, people visiting emergency care goes down. So it's a pretty big deal. So welcome. I know already we've talked for a little while, which is great, to our Thursday night team call, which is happening every week at this time. Hopefully it's going to work for people. Very, very excited about this. And thank you all for joining us. And thank you for those of you guys who are watching our recording. So some very exciting news that I am going to be announcing, because I only have the information for my own little pocket of stuff. This is all I can announce, but you need to take my excitement and put it towards your area, because I'm sure that this is coming to everybody's areas, at least within driving distance. Hoping. So on November the 8th, I have just booked a hotel, and we are having a corporate event in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Now, here is the deal. These are things to be crazy excited about. Number one, it's an all-day event. So if you can, book it off. Book it off from work. Figure out how you can get there. And again, I am not pressuring you to do this. if you guys are choosing that this is something that you want to do, you want to work your business, find a way to do it. If it doesn't work in your schedule, don't feel like I'm pressuring you to do this, but really this is going to be awesome for you. So here's the other thing. They asked me to find a place. They asked me to find a hotel and they gave me a dollar amount, and I was freaking out because I couldn't find it. I couldn't find a hotel for that price. You guys, I told Darla where I wanted to have it. I'm like, this is where it would be best. Like this is where we can kind of come close to our budget, but this place over here, this is where I think it would be best. And she goes, you know what? I trust you. I don't care how much it costs. So we're having it at the Radisson in Saskatoon, which is really, really exciting because it was going to be the Travelodge. And the Travelodge is fine, but it's not like pretty, fancy, plexusy nice, right? And they want to do things right. So I'm really excited. Darla and Ken are coming, and there's going to be a training starting in the morning. And then we are going to have a select group of leaders, and I need to figure this out, but a select group of people is going to be asked to come for dinner or lunch. Depends on what part of the country you're from. Dinner is lunch, lunch is dinner, dinner supper. You know what I mean. We're going to be eating a meal around noon-ish. I would think it's probably going to be 1 o'clock after our training with a select group, small group of leaders, and that's going to be really exciting. The other really exciting thing is going to be that if you want one-on-one time with Darla, if you want to ask her questions, if you want to spend any time with her, we are going to be able to do that. You know, in short stints or whatever in the afternoon. We do need to let her rest. She is literally flying in on an airplane in the morning, getting out there, doing training. We need to give her a rest so she doesn't end up with walking pneumonia again. And then we are doing the event in the evening, which is an opportunity event. So please start thinking of all of the people that you can invite. Now, for all of our East Coast friends, I know that there is going to be something that's coming close to you. I know that there is. Actually, hold on. Let me just look. Because this I actually might be able to tell you. I just remembered right now. Nope. Bless you. Marilyn. Halifax, Moncton, Fredericton, and St. John.
Ooh, yay.
Danica looks like she's either frozen or she's shocked. I think she's frozen. She's excited. Her face is excited. Okay, so like I said, Halifax, Moncton, Fredericton, St. John. We have Winnipeg, Steinbach, Saskatoon, Calgary, and Edmonton. So if you are anywhere near any of those places, get thee to an event.
Can you repeat that? My computer totally froze.
It was great. The expression on your face was like you were on the edge of your seat excited. That was like the best face to project to your team here. Like, be Danica excited, guys. Like, super excited. It's going to be Halifax, Moncton, Fredericton, St. John, and St. John's. So,
whoa.
Yeah. Very, very exciting. So if you are not in any of those places, but you have people who you would want to send to the opportunity tours, do that, please. If you can't attend somewhere yourself, send them and be like, hey, you need to look out for such and such a person, and I'll tell you who the people are that are going to be at those places. And they'll take care of your people for you, right? Like, we are one Plexus. It's not like, I don't want to send my person so I'm not going to be there and I want somebody else to sign them up. That doesn't happen. We don't do that. Like, these things are awesome. Great tools to cast the vision, to catch the vision yourself. Like, go and talk to them. Talk to them about what's happening in Canada. They're so excited and they're so invested in us. They don't need to be doing these. Like, they just did them in March. Hold on. What month are we in? May? What month? Somebody help me.
May?
Was it before convention?
Yes.
No, it was after. It was June. I had a conversation with her at convention. So they were just in Regina. They were just in Regina in June. And for those of you guys, who is Saskatchewan? Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, lots of us.
Me too.
Oh yeah, I counted you.
Okay.
You're counted.
Sorry. Snack time at the zoo.
It's all good. They're investing in our team. The reason that they are coming to Saskatchewan is this team right here, which is super exciting. Super exciting. Give it another year for our East Coasters, and the reason that they'll be coming is because of your team. So you guys just got to keep building, and then I will fly. I will get on a plane, and I will come. I've been looking for an excuse to come out there. And Danica's left, so she can't even laugh at me. It's all good. Okay, so tonight we want to try to keep this relatively quick, because if people want to watch it, I don't want it to be like an hour and a half, because that's crazy. But what we are talking about, we talked about getting back to basics last week. How did everybody do with the challenge that I gave out? I was seeing posts come out and they were beautiful. Where's Sharon? Sharon isn't here. Sharon had the most amazing, like, she's going to be a writer someday. Hers were awesome. So the challenge was just to post a post about Plexus, post about your supplements, post about your why, post about the business. Just make a post and do it. So that's really exciting. And here's the deal, you guys. As you guys are building your businesses, and I was talking to somebody the other day who wasn't really excited about posting on Facebook anymore just because of life circumstances. I can't really get into it, but she's still doing the business and she was wanting to move over to Instagram. But I said, you know what? You have spent so much time and investing into people on Facebook. You're like going to leave them hanging. Like you don't know who's just about ready to jump, and then you don't post again, and they're going to be like, what happened? Like, I don't know what just happened. Like, you left me, right? So make sure that you guys are doing some posts. Now, when we're talking about doing posts, though, we're not talking about here's this product, here's this product, here's this product, here's this product. What is the most effective thing is for people to see you living the health and happiness lifestyle, right? Create curiosity. I don't know how many of you guys were around before we could actually say, hey, look at my pink drink. It's awesome. It's called Slim. It's by Plexus, right? We did this forever just through attraction marketing, not through the name of my magical pooping pills is BioCleanse and y'all need them. We were doing everything by creating curiosity. And I don't want to lose that, because that is how smart network marketers are successful. Okay? So what does creating curiosity look like? Can somebody give me an example? Somebody? Danica?
I was able to stay up after my kids went to bed and do laundry.
Heck yeah. If you guys don't know Danica's story, she was taking multiple naps a day before Plexus and was going from like coffee to coffee to coffee to coffee.
To energy drink to coffee, yeah.
To junk food. And now she is a registered holistic nutritionist. This is great. Like, to say that this girl's life has not done a 180, that would be a lie. Okay?
Oh, yeah. You would not recognize me 2 years ago at all.
No.
I was negative Nelly.
She scared me. Somebody else. This is perfect. Becky, what was your life like before Joyome?
Before Joyome?
Before Joyome.
I spent a lot of money. Wasted a lot of money.
Yeah.
On products, yeah.
Yeah. And Joyome has totally changed things. Like, and it's talking about how you were before and how happy you are now, and putting a picture on that. And you don't have to say, I take this and I do this and I do this and I do this. It's, gee, I am so thankful that I actually have the energy to stay up after my kids go to bed, to get those few little things done so that I am on target for the next day and I'm not starting my next day behind. I never thought this could be my reality. Done. Right? That is opposed to creating curiosity. We want to see a bunch, like a boatload of those kinds of posts, right? We want to talk about, we want to see, like, so Raylin, we want to see pictures of you on bars. We want to see pictures of you guys going for walks. I want to see live videos on Instagram of you guys like, hey, we're out for our walk, we're doing our thing, right? We are living life in front. It's Kristen Abert, she calls it social proof. I'm sure she wasn't the one that came up with it. But we call it social proof of doing and living the way that we say that we are, right? If you are saying, I have energy, I'm great, I'm doing all these things, I'm so thankful for Plexus, and then somebody meets you in a grocery store and you have bags under your eyes to here, and you are pounding back a Red Bull, you're screaming at your children, and you look like a hot mess, people are going to be like, if that is health and happiness, I do not want it. And you know what? We all have those days where we come undone just a little bit, and that's okay too. Don't be afraid to take a picture of that and be like, guess what? Today did not work out the way that I planned, but it's nothing like it looked like 6 months ago. It's nothing like my life looked like a year ago. Whatever, right? Live your life out loud. It can affect so many people. You have no idea. So this is super, super weird for me. I've started engaging more on Instagram, trying to build more of a following on Instagram, do more daily stories and things like that. I have 130 people on average every day that see my Instagram stories, which is crazy. And I count the number of those people, and not a lot of them are Plexus people. And I'm like, I know you're watching me, and I can see who's watching me, and that's why I like them. Because you can't see when somebody scrolls past your Facebook, you can't see who those people are that see you. And with those crazy, nutty algorithms, who knows, right? But guess who's on my follow-up list? The people that I can see that see my Instagram, right? Great tool. Great tool. Loving it. So here is something that I want to go through with you guys. And some of you may not even know that it exists. I feel like it is a super underutilized tool. Along with our, did anybody get this sucker out after last week and kind of brush it off a little bit and maybe check it out, maybe read it a bit? Don't reinvent the wheel, right? Again, I'll reiterate this again. This is not complicated, right? The whole process of what we do, it's not super complicated, right? Does it take work? Heck yeah, it does. Sure it does. Anything in life worth having is a little bit of work, right? Please realize that Plexus is super smart, like ultra, super crazy smart. These are the people that are debt-free, a company after 10 years, completely debt-free. Their offices are run a lot of them, like a lot of the percent, I don't know what the percentage is, but they're solar powered. They signed a 95-year lease for their building on Native American land. Brilliant. They thought that when they built it 2 years ago, it was going, like they built a warehouse space that was going to be just a flex space as they grew. Oh yeah, they're grown out of it already and just purchased property across the street for more Plexus. Like, they're growing, they're smart, they're out of debt, they're making great decisions. This is not, they did not fail on this. They brought the incredibly smart people in to put this together for us. We are fools if we don't choose to use it and don't follow the map that's been laid out for us. So let's use the roadmap to success. So along with that is our rank up roadmap. So I'm just going to share my screen really quick, and I have no idea what screen it's actually going to share. Oh, this one, screen 2. Look at that. Check that out. Oh, okay. Hey, can you see my screen? What do you see? Do you see the silver, gold, senior gold?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, good, because I'm working on 2 monitors and I have no idea what you're seeing. Okay, so when you go into your back office, this is under Training Center. Okay, you go to Rank Up Roadmap, and then you have all of this goodness in here on how to get to all the way up to Senior Ruby. Senior Ruby is brand new. If you go into silver, if you've never done this, you need to go through this. Even if you're like a gold or senior gold ambassador and you've never gone through the silver stuff, go through the silver stuff, okay? And then you start viewing each individual thing here. I just don't check them off. Discover your strengths. This color personality is super important. We talk about colors all the time. Find out what your color personality is. If you've never done any of these kind of personality tests before, it will be like a game changer for you. Watch these videos. Go through these training things, right? This will help you. And then see, it says, hold your horses. Looks like you haven't completed all your lessons yet. Don't go forward until you completed your lessons. And then you keep going, right? Use these things. They are amazing, okay? I know there's a lot of us that like different videos on how to go silver in 7, or, you know, you can YouTube that stuff and you can find it. And they're really, really great trainings too. But what Plexus has done is they've taken the best trainers, like the best of the best, and they've formulated how they see success in Plexus. And this is what it looks like, right? So again, when I started, we didn't have this kind of stuff. So I want this team to latch onto this and use it to like the nth degree, okay? So that's homework for this week, is start digging into this in the back office. There's another thing in here. It's called Success on Demand. If you are looking for some great audios or things like that, I believe the complete works of John Maxwell are on here for free.
They were.
They were? Are they not now?
I can't
find
find
you know
them.
what? They're Aspire. They're going to the Aspire page. Oh, that looks cool. I haven't been here for a while. I'm gonna look this up. This looks amazing. And maybe next week we'll talk about that. The other thing that I would love to, okay, hold on. I'm gonna share this again here. Something else, just as a total aside that I just thought of right now. This is your resource library. If you are looking for anything, information, price list, anything like that, everything is on here. Return policy, money back guarantee, any of that kind of stuff, okay? IPA worksheets, fantastic. If you're not sure what to do for income producing activity, there's where you want to go, okay? So here is one thing that a lot of people kind of don't realize is here, okay? Compliance tools, policies and procedures. That sounds like a fun thing to read on a Friday night, doesn't it? It's actually not bad. I went through and read it because I thought I probably should know it. If I'm a leader in this company, I should probably know what they say, okay? Lots of great information in here. It's pretty much going to hit any question that someone is going to ask you about the business is going to be within the policies and procedures stuff. Something that I need to address, or I feel the need to address, I don't need to, but I can, is I know that in the next little while, Plexus is going to be a little bit more firm as far as working with multiple companies. Now, I'm not talking about Walmart. You're a greeter at Walmart, you're really, really happy with your job, you want to stay there. They're okay with that. But, just do it for fun and do Plexus and whatever. Or, Becky is an optician, they're not going to make her quit. Just because she goes double diamond, she can stay an optician at Walmart if she wants to. Right? 1 day a week. Are you going to stay?
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay, that's fine. But and we're not talking about like, okay, so I have a wholesale account with an oil company because I get my oils for cheap and my mom buys them and it's fine. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking like, if you are marketing yourself, and I'm not talking to anybody in specific. I'm seeing this across the board, our team, other teams, whatever. So this is just me. And actually it's Plexus too. If you are marketing yourself as more than one company, that's against ethics. And you can look in our thing here, table of contents talks about, It's in here. I think that I'll have to find the page, but I'll let you know. I think that it's going to be marketing the product and opportunity. It's somewhere about in the middle. And that kind of thing. But basically what they're saying is you can't market two companies at the same time, right? It's just not ethical. So take a look in there, familiarize yourself on what the do's and don'ts are. And I, just like anything else, I really hold integrity in high esteem and would really encourage everyone to know what that looks like, so that if you encounter that, with somebody, that you know where the company stands. They're really not unreasonable about it at all. I remember when I worked for a different company, we had to actually sign, once we hit the first rank in the company, we had to sign a legal document that said that we would not represent any other company. And that was like right off the get-go. We couldn't do that at all. So this is something that's pretty normal with other companies. So does anybody have any questions about that? And we don't want to get into that too majorly. Actually, if you've got questions, PM me, so we don't have to take up your time. But what we do really want to be focusing on, again, going back to our Rank Up roadmap, is creating silvers, okay? And so, Raylin, we were saying, I'm going to use you again, honey. You're just the star of the day. We want a whole bunch of other Raylins on our team, right? When somebody starts, we don't want them to think, oh, I need to wait until I have a story. Because here's the deal. When Sherry started, if she didn't want to share, just in case, there's no way that she was going to be able to tell her neighbor how it cured her type 2 diabetes. We don't say that, but you know what I mean. Because she doesn't have it. So that story is not going to help her neighbor, right? I think that getting a group of friends together, like even 5 or 6 of you, sorry, Sherry, I was talking about you. I'm sure that Sherry's always on the road. Wouldn't you think that it would be a much better view of how the product actually works if you had like 5 or 6 people together, all doing it together, all leaning on one another, all trying to keep each other accountable, going, are you drinking your water, right? Or somebody saying, hey, you know what, I'm feeling a little bloated today. What do you think about this? And someone's like, oh, you know what, I felt that way too, but I realized that if I just added lemon to my water, it helped things out so much, girl. You need to go do that, right?
Yeah.
So here's a really cool thought process. Here's an example, okay? Things are much more effective in groups, okay? So for us as our team, we are going to be way more effective at doing our business if we rely on our group, okay? If we have relationships with one another, if we're meeting once a week or once a month or whatever, we're going to be way more effective. Can you think of any other groups, support groups, that make things a lot more successful for people meeting their goals? Can you think of any popular groups? How many people of you know people who never lost any weight until they were on Weight Watchers? Because you had a group to keep you accountable and a meeting to go to where you had to step on a scale where everyone was going to know whether you ate cheesecake all week or if you followed the plan, right? Here's another really effective group. And a super cute naked baby. Yes, we love those. Hi, sweetie. See, Amy, very different than the nudity from the last call. This one we're okay with. The other one, not so much. Oh, Kelsey,
So
how old is your little one?
Sec, I have to unmute myself. He's 5 months old.
Oh,
He's so cute.
oh my gosh, I wish we were closer. Do you not wish we were having this meeting in person? We'd be passing around the baby. Yes, we would. Honey, you need to see a picture of convention. How many strollers are at convention?
Good.
Oh my word. Like the stroller parking, they take up a massive amount and they save it. for people. It's crazy. The number of people that are bringing their babies and nursing their babies and whatever in sessions is beautiful.
Oh yeah, they have a mom room set up just for moms to go in there and breastfeed and just be quiet. Oh yeah, it's awesome.
So good. Plexus loves
He's
mom.
so little.
I know. I'm like, my babies were like super chubby.
Compared to my first, but
Aww.
So
Okay,
tiny.
totally squirrel, but it was a baby, y'all.
or
Like,
I
you have to give me credit for
didn't
that one.
mean to interrupt.
It's all good. You're all fine. So here's another group that is super successful because it's a group, okay? What about Alcoholics Anonymous?
I was going to say, but I didn't know if that's the right.
Yep. AA? Yep. What else do they have through AA? They've got, like, they encourage families of alcoholics to come and get together and support meetings, right?
Yeah.
And then the families can get through things a lot easier because they have support from each other. So why would we not think that something that's going to change the trajectory of somebody's health or their business, why should we not think that we need to put these people in a group or get them started with other people that are going to help hold them accountable, right? Plus, if you go silver, you make $175 US, right? So who knows who Brooke Hemingway and Emily Gibson are? I'm raising a hand for Becky. Where did she go? She left. Becky knows who they are. She got pictures with them. Okay, if you don't know who they are, they were like the top earners for the convention contest, basically meaning their teams are the fastest growing right now in Plexus. Now, I have to say Celeste Gwynn's team took the top contest earner spot, which is pretty cool. And Celeste Gwynn she's the first double diamond in Plexus. She's been doing this for 6 years, and her team is still number one. This is a sustainable business, you guys, like super sustainable. All right. So Emily Gibson and Brooke Hemingway, I asked my business coach, Michelle, if she is their business coach as well. I said, so what's the difference between them and the rest of us, right? It's not like it's a them and us thing, right? But I wanted to know, right? Like, tell me all, like, put it under a microscope, deconstruct it, and then tell me how we recreate this magic for all of these other people, right? You know what she said? Somebody guess. Somebody guess. What did she say? No guesses? No guesses?
Something related.
IPA.
IPA? Okay.
Something about groups.
Something about groups. Okay, Faye, what were you going to say?
Yeah, they get together, they help support each other, even when they're not in Plexus IPA. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Every day they do their team call, like their 1 hour.
Mm-hmm. Their IPA Zooms.
Yeah.
Do you know what they do? They create silvers. They create silvers. And they do it again and again and again and again. So they do the power of 3. So if you guys have never heard about Plexus and the power of 3, and I'm sure that those other things you guys have said play different like roles in this, right? But essentially, they get people to silver, right? So they get somebody who comes on board and they make sure that that person goes silver. So let me show you. I probably should not write on the back of my mortgage. That's probably wrong, isn't it? I don't have my whiteboard in the new house yet. Okay, and this is what I love about, and it's going to be backwards, and we're just going to have to deal with it. That's me, or you, however you want to put it. It's all about you. We'll say it's you. So I am going to sponsor 6 people. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I went silver and then some. Okay, everyone can see this? Yes? Can? Okay. Hold on. I know this is going to get hard to see, so I'm going to use a marker. All right. So basically, the whole business is about duplication. And this is where, I mean, obviously, if you draw it differently, it does look different. But this, to me, is how we show that this is possible for so many people. So if I help all of these 6 people, you'd think that I would actually have one of these written up somewhere. Somebody who's good at graphics. Carrie Clausen, if you're watching, I have a job for you. It is horribly, but if you could make me a graphic of this, that would be great. Okay. So that's what that looks like. If I help all 6 of those people go silver. So now 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 plus 6 is going to be 24. So I got 24 people on my team. So now we're going to help them go silver. I'm glad you came on here to watch me draw things. 1, 2, 3. Now, obviously, this is a perfect world, right? We wouldn't ever have somebody who wouldn't go silver. But we're just, for the sake of argument, we're going to say you're going to get to be so amazing at this. People are going to be calling you from corporate asking, how do you duplicate like that? And how do you help people go silver? Raylan's going to be like, I just kept showing them pictures of me at the park. And they were so excited. And they wanted that for themselves. And then their sisters wanted it. And then they knew somebody who needed to buy a new car but couldn't afford it on a teacher's salary. So they decided to do this with all their tired teacher friends. And that person is going silver. Oops. Okay. Somebody really, really good at math, because I'm just drawing circles.
Nope.
Check out what that looks like. It started with 1 person, and just because I had the room, 6 people, and then we added 6 times whatever that was. So there's, 6 times 3, we had 18 more people, so that was 24. And then 18 times 3 is 50, 54, no, 51. 3 times, yeah. Anyway, that's a lot. I can't do math at this point in time. I retired my homeschooling. Do you see how this can work really, really easily? Okay. Don't look at it for this person, though. Look at it for this person, okay? So this person sponsored 3 people who sponsored 3, 6, 9. So 9, they've got 12 people on their team. They're more than halfway to gold, right? More than halfway to gold. And when that person does this again a couple more times, they're going to be looking at an extra $10,000 US a year in their pockets just by sharing the power of 3. So how do we do this? How do we get people to understand this? We work really hard at learning how to overcome objections, right? How to be a product of the product, right? Creating curiosity through Facebook and not being like, you know, plastering everything over and over and over again, right? Like that's not what we're all about. We're not about sales. We're about loving people. And I lost the lid for my pen, but that's okay. We need to keep on doing the simple steps, sharing with people, getting them connected with your upline to help with third-party validation. Third-party validation is so weird, you guys. If you don't know anything, if you don't know what that's all about, and you think that we're crazy, can I tell you how uncrazy we are? Do you know how many people will listen to me, just me by myself, like when I talk to them? If I add another person into that conversation, and you know, I know what you all are thinking, like, why would I not listen to Janelle? She's super smart. If she was talking to me about plexus, I would totally listen to her, right? And I'm like, I know, but they won't listen to me because I'm just me to them, right? And I don't need to get some big plexus person above me. I could get, you know, my new friend who just has been on the product for 3 weeks in a chat with them and be like, hey, this is my friend Noreen. She's been on the product for 3 weeks and here's what she's found. And this is what we know. Grab a sideline, grab an upline, grab a whatever, and talk to them, right? Somebody else telling somebody exactly the same thing as you just told them, third-party validation, and it works amazingly. Don't know why? It's some weird thing we do as humans. We don't We will believe a total stranger that tells us, that affirms what our good friend has told us over our good friend. It is super weird, but it works. So third-party validation. Third-party validation can also come in the form of a good YouTube video. Try to keep them under 7 minutes if you're sending them to somebody. I had one, it was over 7 minutes that I always used to send, and now when I watch it, I'm like, really? I used to send that video to people? But the one, Wendy Larson, Rock the Pink, and it's a horrible camera angle, and I love Wendy. I love Wendy. She's beautiful. She's so smart. But what did I tell people? I'd be like, you need to watch this video, but just really pardon the lady's crazy eyes. Like just the camera angle wasn't kind. She's so sweet and she's so smart and so nice. Guess what? Everybody wanted to go on the video and watch the lady's crazy eyes. Super weird, right? Super weird. But they would go and watch and they'd be like, that's so great, right? My third-party validation was in the form of a video. It can also be in the form of an article that you send them. So start, when you're reaching out to people, it doesn't need to be complicated. When we were doing, Sherry and I did a training with, oh, Sherry, help. Name is not coming to me. We did a training with a guy, and he talks about how to have these conversations with people. And, you know, you have the first connection where someone's like, yeah, what's Plexus all about? And you're like, oh, it's a health and wellness company that's focused on plant-based supplements that help reduce inflammation, heal the gut, and stabilize your blood sugar. What do you think that it could help you with? I love that question. I always ask people, what do you think the Plexus could help you with? Or what are you hoping that Plexus could help you with? Or what was it about what I posted, if they're reaching out to you? What was it that sparked your interest, right? And so then they'll start talking to me about it. And then I can pick my third-party validation the way that it'll best suit them. Maybe it's like, oh, I take supplements now, and I was just wondering maybe these ones would be a little bit different, or blah, blah, blah. And then you can send them a general video and they can watch that, right? I think we tend to think that we need to know too much. And we really don't need to know a whole lot. Be really good at knowing the bit that you have, and then be really, really good at finding people information. Like Crystal Welk always says, she's got a degree in Google. I love that. It's great, right? Share the information. Follow the steps on the roadmap to silver, because even if you just followed the roadmap to silver stuff over and over and over again, you're going to get there, right? Because we know that this business is basically just a lot of the same thing, right? Sharing and sharing and sharing, creating community, hanging out in the community, making friends, loving on people, getting people excited about your tribe, right? Get people excited about this group of people. I always tell people, hey, you know what? You want to be with us on this journey because we're awesome. And the support we give is great. And the ladies that I'm so privileged to work with the ladies that I do. Grow is a great place that you can look for encouragement and support and all of these different things. You're going to want to be in this group. It's different than anything that you've ever experienced. I know that for sure. Okay. All right. That's pretty much all I have to say tonight, because I really want us to focus on that rank up roadmap and starting to get to be pros at developing silvers. If we can start getting people money back in their pockets after the first, before the first month is even over, that's awesome. Steph, how did you do that?
I was just going to ask.
That's awesome. Does anybody have any questions about what we're talking about so far? Or totally, because that's it. That's what I got.
I was trying to see how long we'd been on this chat, because now I have 2 babies that are sleeping. And so I thought if I clicked on the bottom more ... then there was like a virtual background. So I clicked on virtual background, and that's San Francisco showed up. I was like, well, I want to be in San Francisco.
That's awesome.
So here I am in San Francisco.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. We may all need to do our backgrounds. I have weird ones. Hold on. Check this one out.
Mine doesn't show it.
I don't have that.
I know mine is weird though. Mine is because of my webcam. So anyway, okay, but seriously, besides, Sherry, look at you. You're not in the truck anymore. You know what? I've been watching Fuller House. This is making me want to like, do, 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 do. I want to start singing the Full House theme.
Oh my God.
Everywhere you look. Nicole, you have a question. Nikki has a question.
That's crazy.
No, I actually don't. I was trying to find some
She just raised her
cool
hand.
background, and I
It's
guess
all
I
good.
hit something else.
Fine. It's fine. Okay,
Are you ladies on a computer?
I'm on a computer. Oh,
I'm
what
not.
happened? Somebody screen shared.
Woohoo!
Can I even stop that? This will stop. Yes, I want to stop.
Oh, you can. You can.
Craziness. Okay,
Sorry, that was me.
it's okay. It's all good. Okay, so really what we want to help you do, like as leaders, we want to equip you guys to be able to go out and make silvers, help people with their health, but also make this so that this isn't a financial burden for them. Because I don't think that anybody starts Plexus because they just have a whole lot of extra money laying around and they just need a place to spend it.
No.
What
Back to
on
screen
earth?
sharing.
Stop it.
Samsung Galaxy S7's screen.
What can I do here?
Oh, I don't know. But
Remove them, but I can't. Yeah, anyway.
it's fun.
Who has the Galaxy? Is that Kendra? Is that you? They're on mute. Anyway, we want to equip you guys to be able to, number one, go out and go silver every month. And then number two, take those people and show them how to do what you did. And to be able to cast the vision enough for them to be able to walk out of things and step out in faith and be like, okay, I can do this, right? And it's basically creating a dialogue with somebody to help them see that this business goes so far beyond ourselves, right? Think about Raylan's story, right? Think about her son and what life is going to look like for him versus what it would have looked like before Plexus. Think about Danica's story. I mean, think about my story. My heavens, not everybody's maybe heard my story, but I know for a fact that I would not be able to do what I'm doing right now with my kids, living actual life vertical and not horizontal all the time. I wouldn't be able to do that without Plexus, for sure. Sherry, you look like you want to say something. Or is it just that you're so entertained by your fall background?
I'm just so entertained by this whole background program.
I'm so proud of my leaders and how well they help everybody stay on task. It's okay, I'll get you back. I've got a job for you for the 8th.
I do have a question for you.
Yes,
I don't know if you can hear me.
I can.
How cool. It's Rose, by the way. Did I screenshot you? I'm sorry. I
No,
don't
you
know what
didn't
I'm
screenshot us,
pressing.
but you
I
were
was dropping
sharing
it
your
in a,
screen and it was beautiful. We just didn't know what was happening.
was it? What were you watching? Ethics?
Nothing. You were just trying to change your background. It's all good. Okay, what's your question?
Oh, no, actually, I dropped my phone. I don't know what I did. But anyway, my question is, I want to start getting this going better for me, because obviously you've been on all those little groupie things that I've been signing people up with, and then they don't proceed. And then with the 2 deaths in our family and everything's kind of on hold for whatever. And then with classes, how can I make the best of this? Because it's kind of everywhere at this point in time.
I would say that, I mean, anybody else can interject as well. But I would say that you need to carve out space in your day specifically to do your business. Because life is always going to happen. There's always going to be something that happens that can take our attention away from what we're doing.
Yep.
And with this being such a flexible business, which is great, right? Like Kelsey's here, she's doing her business, she's hanging with her baby. Like that's flexible, right? my kids are having a great time because it's not bedtime yet, apparently, because I promised that I'd read stories. So like, hey, whatever. It's flexible, but sometimes it can be flexible to us to a detriment if we don't hold ourselves accountable, right? Rachel Hollis said something the other day about I don't break promises I make to myself. And I thought, I actually have always been really good at breaking promises to myself because I'm fairly forgiving. So perhaps I need to be less forgiving when I break a promise to myself. And so, yes, when you're having deaths in the family, that kind of thing, there's some stuff that just absolutely can't be avoided. But if it's really, really important to you that you get those 3 brand new contacts every day, and that you get your posts up on Facebook every day, and you follow up with some of your people every day, and that doesn't have to be like, hey, Sam, we haven't talked in 12 years, but I want to tell you about Plexus. It might be because maybe Sam like has eczema really bad and he's single and the eczema on his face is keeping him from meeting a girl, and you're like, I can affect your life, right? Maybe. But maybe Sam has a really, really great page all about barbecue. And you love the food that he takes pictures of, right? And so you have been commenting on all of his posts, right? And saying something like, my husband and I love barbecue, so he knows that you're not hitting on him. But then you message Sam, be like, Sam, I need your recipe for that pork loin you did the other night because it looked amazing, right? And then he's like, sure, and he sends it to you, and you talk about pork loin, and then when you make it, you send it back and be like, hey, or you send him a picture of you and your husband eating pork loin, so it's still clear that you're married and happy and it's all good, and you just really want him for his pork loin and not the other. But you're creating relationships with these people. You're creating relationships with these people so that now you've talked about pork loin, you're talking about barbecue, and you'll be like, you know, this is not my passion, but, you know, I'm really excited. I put potatoes with it, but I made sure to take my block. And he'd be like, well, what's block all about? And you'd be like, well, it lets me behave when I'm not behaving with carbs and sugars. So make sure that you have to quantify that. Otherwise, things can happen. All right? So just so you know, I don't know a Sam, and I don't tend to reach out to men. It just happens. We're just going here, okay? Anyway, so you're talking to these people about things that they're interested in. You're trying to find out more about their interests, right? And then as you are liking, now here's a new thing for you guys. If you're on Instagram and you're commenting on people's posts, 4 words or more that do not include an emoji, that's what counts for the algorithm, okay? So if I'm commenting on Danica's post, I can't just put 2 hearts and be like, hey, I'm the hero of the hour, I help with the algorithm. No, you need 4 words and maybe a couple extra, okay? Living your life out loud.
What kind of 4 words?
Hey! Exclamation mark. I'm so excited for you. That's more than 4 words. But you know,
so
we all know
any type of 4
people,
word.
Yeah, but well, it would be great if it was a coherent sentence.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
I don't want a coherent sentence.
Yeah. So 4 words or more. And I would imagine that that's Facebook too, right? But you know, we've all had those comments. It's like, great! Exclamation mark. I'm like, all right. Or love your feed. That's always the one, right? Like people are trying to get follows, right? Love your feed. Well, that's 3 words and it's not getting you anything, right? Anyway, make sure that you're commenting on other people's stuff. Now, what you may have to do is like what Danica did when she came home from convention, because algorithms are so funky right now, go through your Facebook, pull up your friends list, print it off, and methodically go through and pick a list of people for 7 days that you are going to, or maybe like you pick like 3 sets of 7. So on Monday, you go through all of those 7 people's recent posts and you love and you comment. And then the next day you go through the next set of 7 and you love and you're commenting on all of their stuff. And then the next set you love and comment, and then you do it again. And so you're only dealing with 21 people for like a week. or 2 weeks, right? And then they're starting to see your stuff pop up in their feed. You're seeing their stuff pop up in your feed, all that kind of thing. Why is Amy laughing? I have no naked people behind me. None. And I love that you're sitting on a couch. There's nothing doing behind you.
No surprises tonight.
You're in control of this Zoom tonight, people. If you missed our Zoom from last week, you're just going to have to go watch it because it was interesting.
We're reading Helen Keller.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, cool.
Not a comedy, but you're laughing.
Is there a way to get like some Plexus gear, I guess you could say, like a Plexus water bottle or something like that?
Yep, you can go to Etsy. Sherry, does my Plexus print ship to Canada yet?
No.
Nope, not yet. Okay, so Etsy is your best bet. Go to Etsy and search Plexus swag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I want to cover it up at SEIU thing on my lunch kit. If I put that on instead, then yeah.
You can also get them made, like you get a sticker made or like a vinyl made that you can put on a steel water bottle or something like that. But here's a great plug for convention, because convention has all that stuff. I don't have anything here.
When's that?
Convention is in June next year. And if you guys are thinking about coming to convention, you need to make that decision like by the end of December, because the day that it comes out, you need to register. Last year, it was sold out pretty much by the end of the first month. That's never happened before. Look at this fun little thing that I got. I'm keeping you way too long. So it's a pill holder, and it's a lemon. And it comes out like this, and there's a little toggle, and there's a little door, and you just keep pressing the button. And then when you get around to the right little section, you open the door, and the pills come out. How fun is that? Okay, I'm digressing seriously here. So I want everybody to go into their virtual offices this week and get familiar with the Rank Up Roadmap. Start at silver, even if you're gold, or senior gold, or whatever, or even if you're not silver, or if you are silver, everybody needs to go to the silver part. And start there and start going through, because everything that we need to be successful in this business is there, here, and within our group here. So thank you so much, you guys, for joining us. If you are not in a chat with your upline and their upline and their upline and their upline, do it yourself and put yourself in a chat and be like, I want to be in a chat with all these people so that I can know all the good things. All right? Have a wonderful week, and we will see you guys back here, same bat time, same bat channel, next Thursday, 7 p.m. Saskatchewan time, because I don't know what it's actually called, mountain time.
Just stick to Saskatchewan time.
Thank you. See? There was a reason that I said that. I didn't want anybody to be confused. I was being all fancy, and I said Eastern. And then Danica was like, you mean Atlantic? I'm like, ah. So, thank you guys so much for sticking with us. Thank you for making this a priority, especially those of you guys who are balancing kid bedtimes and those kinds of things. Thank you for those of you who stayed up past your own bedtime to be here. I'll let you go to bed now with happy thoughts, and you can go to bed dreaming of pork loin.
Sam's pork loin.
Sam's pork loin. It's all good. All right. Have a great, great evening. I can't wait for next week. I've got something exciting planned. Was I supposed to say something about something else? I don't think so. If I think of it, I'll put it in the comments. But you're not going to want to miss next week, because we're talking about something really, really deep. And leaders, I'm going to need you to be on there with your lists that we are working on, or we're working on last week. Please and thank you. And yeah, we're really, really excited for next week. So we will talk soon. Bye.